Hey everyone, it's Kellie Day coming to you live from Colorado on the new Art.com studio. Today I'm going to show you how to make mixed media birds, and we'll just give everyone a minute to be here. So give me a shout and let me know where you're from. It's great to see everyone. Hey Tracy, hey Melanie, so great to see all of you here. Hey Malia. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kellie Day. I'm a mixed media artist. I paint and show and sell my work and license it. You can see some of my songbirds behind me here. They're available as prints actually on art.com/Kellie. So some of the reasons, well, actually, let me tell you, for those of you who don't know me, I'm also an art mentor and also an art educator for Golden Paints. Hey everyone, so great to see you all here. Hey Lisa from Chicago, CW from Boston, hey Linda from Florida. Okay, so I really love Art.com not only because they have so much awesome art that's for every price range, prints that you can get on canvas and paper, but I really love how they responded so quickly to the coronavirus outbreak. And they gave art lovers something that you could do to make art in your own home. So what they're doing is they're bringing on board artists like me, and last week they had an amazing photographer named Ursula on that are giving you guys quickie classes so you have something to do in your house and make art that you love. They're also selling art kits, so check it out on their site. It's a kit that you can buy with paints and canvas all ready to go with frames. Hey Sherry from LA, hey everyone. Okay, so it's great to see all of you here, and as artists, you know, we tend to be very sensitive people and we tend to be very moved by the beauty around us, and so much so sometimes that we have to just express it through our art and share it with the world. So if that's something that all of you here want to learn how to do, let's jump in today and just do some simple mixed media birds. Now, for those of you who don't know what mixed media is, it simply means, just like it sounds, it's just mixing all different kinds of materials in your art. So for me, like these paintings behind me, I love to incorporate acrylic paint and collage, illustration. You can put watercolor, you can put pastel. I love to use spray paint. And so it's just mixing everything that you love into your art, and that makes it so exciting. So my paintings are really, really involved, but I'm just going to give you like a simple way to get started today. So let's get going. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip my phone around and show you how to make these, and then afterwards I'll flip it back around and take your questions. Actually, before we get going, and don't forget, you can look for all kinds of art and see my art at art.com/Kellie. Okay, so let's talk about what we're going to use today. You can really use any kind of paint that you have. I've got some heavy body paint that's like a buttery texture. I've got fluid paint. So grab watercolors, grab acrylics, tempera, whatever you have except oil. Don't grab oil, but everything else would work. Then you're going to need a glue stick or something to collage. You could also use Mod Podge if you have that. Hey Deb, oh, it's so fun to see all of you here. And then you're going to need some paper. I've just got a simple pad of watercolor paper here. You're also going to want some paint markers. I've got some little ones that I've actually filled these with fluid acrylics. You're going to want some collage papers, so anything that you have laying around that's pretty. It could be an old note card from your bestie, a birthday card, it could be wrapping paper, it could be scrapbooking paper. So just grab whatever you have. Hey Melody. And then let's see, I've got a paper plate for my palette. I've got a water jar and just a little brush and some scissors. So let's jump right in. I'll flip my phone around and then I'll take your questions afterwards. So give me 1 second here to do this. Let's see. Okay. All right, let me know if you can see my paper here, please. Can everybody see that in your window? Give me a shout. Okay. And I'm not accepting any requests for anyone to be in my video today. Sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by making some really simple little bird shapes here. So go ahead and grab your paint, and I'm just going to get a little bit of it on my palette here. And you can even add a little water to it if you want it to be runnier. And then let's just make a simple bird shape. And a real easy way to do that is just to do a half circle and then just do another little half circle for the head. So it doesn't have to be fancy. You could smooth the head out if you want. I'm going to show you my top secret tricks afterwards for fixing any mistakes. So just do a couple little half circles in one of your favorite colors, and then let's grab another color. I'm going to grab this light green shade. It's also nice to have some paper towel to dab your brush on after you clean it in the water. Okay, so I'm going to grab a little of this light green and put it on my palette. It's kind of thick, so I'm going to add a little water to water it down. Hey, Wild Apple Art. Okay, so let's make another bird shape. We can make a different shape with a little figure 8. So do a little figure 8, super simple. You could do some tail feathers like that. There's your second bird. And let's grab another color. So really, don't worry about how perfect these are at all. This is just about playing around, having fun, and it looks really good if you do your birds in a variety of different shapes. So I've got some teal. This is a fluid acrylic, and I'm gonna do, let's do one flying in here. So we're gonna do another half circle with a little half circle for the head, and then how about just some little whoop-de-doos for the wings there, so he's like flying in. And whoops, don't worry about mistakes. We'll fix them later. And really, this is more of a cutesy piece. All right, let's do one more. So, all right. Hey, everyone. I can see you in there, and hopefully you guys are painting along with me. And if not, this is going to be archived on Art.com, and you'll be able to come back and watch it later. So, okay, let's do one more. Let's do another one flying in this direction. So a little half circle with another little half circle for the head. Look at all these beautiful colors and some wings flying in. Okay, some little tail feathers. And you can round out the head a little if you want, but don't worry about it. Okay, so now look at those gorgeous colors. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if you're at home, you can blow dry this. You want to get these to dry, and then we're going to start collaging. So you can set them out in the sun or you can blow dry them. I actually have a sheet, because I'm so prepared today, of dried birds. So let's go to step 2. Once your birds are dry, we're going to take some of your pretty little collage papers and start gluing them on for the wings. So grab some pretty little pieces. You could even find, like, look at this, I found some old musical paper. You could rip up magazines, or I've got a whole box of this gorgeous origami paper that you can order. I think I got that like on Amazon, actually. Okay, so grab your glue stick, or if you have Mod Podge, a lot of people use Mod Podge in schools to do collage with. And I'm going to get a clean brush. Well, actually, you guys don't need a brush. Go ahead and use your glue sticks. I'm going to use this gel that I use to collage. I use all these professional materials, but you don't have to buy this expensive stuff. If you're at home with your kids, just use a little glue stick, and we're going to put some of these pretty papers on here for wings. So go ahead and stick these down with your glue sticks. You can cut them or you can rip them. You can see that I like to kind of rip those papers just to keep it loose and not too perfect, because as Elizabeth Gilbert says, perfection is a serial killer. It will ruin your creativity, so don't be too creative. All right, let's see. I mean, don't be too perfect. Definitely be too creative. Okay, let's just grab some more of these little papers and glue them down. Let's see, what do I want to use now? Oh, here's kind of a cool one. So I'm going to put my glue on the back of this paper and just kind of put it down for this little bird who's sitting here. And again, if you have any questions, I will take them as soon as I'm done here. And let's see, how about another one for this gal or guy? And you can cut them if you want them to be a little bit smoother. So put your glue on the back and then just glue your wings down. And you can do tail feathers too. It gets really pretty if you've got some tail feathers going there. Okay, look at this. This is origami paper. Isn't that gorgeous? Let's give some origami wings to this guy up here. Okay, and it's really about, you know, all the colors and the textures coming together. How amazing it makes it. They don't have to match. They don't have to be perfect. It's just when you look at all these colors and textures together, it's just a delight for the eye. Okay, and again, you'll be able to see all this stuff on Art.com/Kellie, or the video will be posted afterwards on Art.com. Okay, let's see. We've got one more little baby bird here. Let's give this baby bird some wings. All right. And you know, if your glue isn't sticking, you can take... You're going to need to use more glue, first of all, but you could take a paper towel and really push that paper down. You could set something heavy on it to make sure it really gets solid when it's drying. All right, let me grab one more here. This is stuff we go really in depth with my art mentoring students, but I'm just trying to keep this super simple for you guys here. Because I know some of you have kids in that. Okay, so that's how we get started on the collage, and you can go as in-depth as you want. You can, of course, add more wings. Maybe I'll just give this guy one more little bit of a wing, and then I'll show you what's next. Okay, let's see. All right, so dab your glue down. If you're using a glue stick, make sure it's a new one that's still kind of wet, not too dried out, or if you're using Mod Podge, that works well. All right, now grab your gel pens or your paint markers, and this is the trick, is really just adding a few little details at the end. So if you've got a gold gel pen, I've got this paint marker here. Let's go ahead and make some little beaks for these guys. Just to really, well, that's a little high, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about perfection. I really believe it's the human element, the little flaws, little imperfections that show your vulnerability and your voice. Okay, so if you want, you can outline their bodies a little. That will help kind of distinguish what your birds look like if that is of interest to you. You could really just have as much fun as you want with these paint markers and gel pens, because these are what kind of pull it all together in the end. Here's our little baby bird. So it's just really doodling. Like, don't worry too much how perfect it is. It's just a little silly doodling. Okay, this guy's a bigger one. And so my super secret trick, I thought I told you I would share with you. If your bird shape isn't what you're wanting it to be, you can take a little white paint and you can paint around the edge. I'll show you in a minute here. So for example, if you have a little white paint and you don't like the shape of your bird, you can just cover that up. Hopefully you can all see this with a little white paint and no one will know. There is no need to tell anyone what you've done here. Just show them and wow them. Okay, so now last thing, I'm going to take my white paint marker and I'm going to just give a few little lines on the tail feathers and the wings, because I think that really kind of makes it look like there's some little feathers coming through when you do that. And you know what works really well if you don't have these fancy paint markers that I do is you can get those Sharpie paint markers that are black and white. Okay, I'm going to flip this around. Oh, I forgot one thing. Let's take a black marker and just do a little eye for everyone, just to give it a little point of interest. Little eyeballs for our birdies. You can even name them with your kids. Sometimes the kids just love to name the different birds. Okay, so that's kind of how you start doing mixed media. There's so much more. Whoops. I mean, you can add so many materials. But right now I want to flip the camera around and I want to take your questions. So I'm going to flip it around and let's see here. Hey, I'm back. Hi everyone, how did that go for you? I've got some questions here, so I'm going to answer your questions. The comments are covering your birdies. Oh, all right, let's see. Questions. Go ahead and type your questions in. Okay, so Mod Podge. What is Mod Podge? Mod Podge is it is a type of glue used for collage in a lot of elementary school projects because it's not toxic. So you can, I'm sure you can get it on Amazon. It comes in like a jug of Mod Podge. So if you want to get a little fancier than a glue stick, that's a great way to go. All right, let's see, what other questions do we have here? All right. What's the best way to get 4-year-olds painting? If you have young kids, like a 4-year-old, just a huge piece of paper and a ton of paint and just let them play, because you don't want to stifle their creativity by telling them a certain project or a certain outcome. At that age, at a young age, it just needs to be all about play, and that's how you instill the love of painting in a kiddo. All right, let's see, what other questions do we have here? What is the medium I am using to glue down? That is golden soft gel, and that stuff is wonderful. All the materials I use are golden paints, and they have endless amounts of incredible stuff you can use, and that's what I work on my art mentoring students with. So let's see here, what else did we get? Oh, Ursula, hey. When you're uninspired, what do you do to get your mojo? So that's such an amazing question. Everybody thinks, hey, I can only paint if I feel like painting. And if a lot of times women don't feel like painting, they don't paint for a really long time. So it's important to learn the rhythms of how to get back into your creative flow. And there's so many different things you can do, but to keep it really simple here today, I would say get out and enjoy your life. Okay, art is life, and the number one way to get inspired for your art is to go out and do things you love with no purpose and no goal, and just have fun and be like a kid again. That is a great question. Thank you, Ursula. Okay, let's see. What other questions do we have here? Okay. All right, lots of questions. All right, where do you find your collage paper from Supergens? That is a great question. And could tissue paper work for the bird's wings, from Rachel? Tissue paper is awesome to work with. but it is very delicate, and when it gets wet it can rip, and it also bleeds. The color bleeds a lot of times. So if you like that effect, like I love accidents that happen when you're painting, then you can absolutely use tissue paper if you don't mind that it's going to bleed a little. And then just work quickly with it. Once you stick it down, leave it there, because if you work with it too much, it will tear. Hope that helps you. Okay, Super Gems, where do you find collage paper? Everywhere. Once you start looking for collage paper, you're going to see it everywhere. You're going to see like you're going to see a cigarette box in the street. You're going to see a bookstore with antique books, or thrift stores are a great place. And thanks, Liz. And origami paper. You can, of course, buy wonderful papers at art stores. It's just endless. Once you start looking, you'll see it everywhere. So I hope that helps, Super Gems. Okay, what should we do for the background? Yeah, you should take a mixed media class, because there's so much you can do for the background. If you look at my art prints on Art.com/Kellie, you can see that some of my prints have very involved textured backgrounds, and that's just a matter of learning how to build up those beautiful mixed media layers. It's a little more than I can go into today, but definitely if you're interested in mixed media, take a class. Look at my YouTube channel. I have some more free tutorials there. Okay, you're so welcome for the tips, Michelle. Let's see. Malia says Walmart has cool paper. And let's see if we have any other questions here. What inspires me? Okay, what inspires me is living in Colorado. I live in an amazing, beautiful place with 14,000-foot mountains and cowboys and cowgirls and ranches and rivers, and all we do here is play outside. It's amazing. So I'm a very lucky girl, and all I have to do is go outside to get inspired. Really and truly, just interacting with my surroundings is what inspires my painting. Okay, one more question not one more, I'll take more questions. Malia says, any suggestions on getting teens to get into art project? Okay, teens are a whole nother ball game. They're smart. They're smarter than we are. Did you know that? You got to keep their attention and make it edgy. So I would say get them some stencils and spray paint. Get them outside with big giant canvas. Make it edgy. Make it cool. Make sure if they're using spray paint that they've got a mask and gloves, and they're using proper precautions, because that stuff is toxic. But find out what they love. Is there a certain musician that they love? And play the music, or let them paint that. So really, really, you got to focus on what's important to them. And hope that helps. Okay. Hi, Linda. Thank you so much. I'll take another question. It's so great to see all of you guys here. All right, let's see here. More questions. Okay. What paints do you recommend for kids, and who is your favorite artist? Paints for kids, you want to get something non-toxic. So I think I don't really teach kids, but I think they use tempera paints. I should know that. Or acrylic student grade paints would be fine for kids. So, who is your favorite artist? Okay, so wow. I will give you a couple because it's always changing. Basquiat, Basquiat. Oh my God, love him so much. Of course, Frida, because she's just so wild and just what an amazing journey. Gosh, there's so many. I have millions. It's always changing. And of course, why can't I think of more of them right now? I'll get back to you on that. Okay, what's my favorite art piece on my wall? That's a great question. That is also always changing. I often put my own art on the wall because you learn so much from looking at your own art. So, but as far as other people's arts, I have a print by Jose Posado, a Mexican printmaker, of the calaveras, the skeletons from Day of the Dead dancing on my wall. Oh my gosh, it's black and white. It's so powerful and beautiful. That's my favorite. And also the Japanese print from my grandma of a woman bathing. Okay, so anyway, there are, Yes, there are art kits on Art.com for kids. I totally encourage you to go grab those because then you'll just have everything you need and you don't have to shop around for different things. Okay, let's see. Any more questions? Tempura is the Japanese food. See, I knew I said that wrong. What is it, Linda? Tell me. Shrimp tempura. Okay, let's see. More questions. Do I use watercolors ever from Fancy Little Me? I love that question because watercolors create a totally different effect in mixed media. And yes, I use them. I use them in my layers when I want a softer look. I tend to like a really bold look in my art, but I have created paintings where the wings are just made of watercolor of birds, and it creates a very soft, sensual look. So learning to master different mediums and different kinds of paints can really help you express your voice because then you know how to convey that feeling that is so important to you. Okay, brush with many colors. Hey, Ruth, you found me. Yay. Okay, guys, if you have any more questions, type them in. I'm going to put the website on here where you can see my prints on Art.com. It's just Art.com/Kellie, so not too hard. And I think I can, I'm trying to stick this on there. Let's see if that, I hope I did that right. Okay, thanks Judy, thanks for being here. I really appreciate all your feedback. What brand of watercolors? I am a Golden Paints art educator, so I use their brand and it is really beautiful and rich in pigment. But I know there are other professional brands out there that are incredible, so I totally encourage you to explore, and any professional grade watercolor paint is going to have really vibrant pigments. Okay, do I varnish my paintings? Yes, I do. And yes, I use Golden Paints varnish. Varnishing is kind of a complex subject. There's a lot to it. I would encourage you to go on the Golden Paints website and look at some of their videos because that's more than I can cover today. But varnishing is incredible for bringing out and enhancing colors in your paint and your painting, and also for protecting it from UV. Okay, what else? Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Beth. Okay, ladies, I've got time for like one more question. Let's see what else we have here. Trying to click on it. Okay. Does being an artist run in the family? Yes, Casey, it does. Yeah, my mom is a painter and my dad is a painter. And my dad was not always a painter. He was an engineer when I was growing up. And then my mom thought he watched too much TV after work, so she got him a set of pastels and he's never stopped painting. And my dad paints only cows and my mom paints only wild horses. My mom is the real deal. She's in gallery, the Mitchell Hill Gallery in Charleston. She creates gigantic, beautiful paintings and sells them all over. And my dad, his Floyd Day, you can look up his art on floyddaypastel.com if you like cows. Okay, one more question. Harpreet, what medium do I like the most? All of them. That's why I do mixed media where I mix them in. So another question, do I use natural materials like twigs or leaves? And if so, how do you glue them on? I don't, but a lot of my students love using organic materials. You want to get a really heavy duty professional, if you're using a Golden Paints product, it could be a soft gel, and just use it straight on with no water and stick something heavy on top until it dries. I'm sure there's lots of other glues you could use. Molly Babcock, it's so good to see you here. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I hope I got everyone's questions. Remember that you can go on Art.com/Kellie and see my prints. And buy my prints and buy all kinds of art. You can get art kits so that you can make your own art. You can also watch Ursula's photography class that she did last week. And Yes, Lisa, they're going to save this and have this on the website. So in case you weren't able to work as quickly as I was, you can go back and watch it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Tracy. So great to see you all. All right. Have a wonderful weekend and make art.